Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Rishi invited Lakshmi to his engagement with Malishka, and Shalu has a plan to stop the engagement, and Lakshmi cried after realizing that she might be losing Rishi. So let's continue from there. Rishi got ready for his engagement with Malishka. He says that he doesn't know why Lakshmi did not come yet, and he says, I will go and see. Ahana asks Ayush if he saw what just happened, and how Rishi is still thinking about Lakshmi even though he is about to get engaged to Malishka. Ayush says, I know, and says he did not think that he will see this day. He says Rishi has so much anger. Once they fight like a volcano, everything will be fine. Ahana thinks that once Rishi and Lakshmi's anger goes, then their fight would end, and then they can become friends. Everything will be fine. Rishi comes to his room and he calls Lakshmi. He asks if she has eaten, as she doesn't want to see him doing the engagement. He says, I have faced so much, which I haven't thought even in my dreams. That is your reality. The servant comes there. Rishi says Lakshmi is hiding, and then says she is inside. The servant says Lakshmi has asked me to keep the sweet here. Rishi asks that where did Lakshmi go to? The servant says he doesn't know. Rishi thinks that why did Lakshmi go and to where? Lakshmi comes to Rano's house. Shalu and Bani opens the door and sees her. They hug Lakshmi. Rano says, I am ready, let's go. She sees Lakshmi and asks if she brought her suitcase. Lakshmi says she was feeling strange and that is why she came for today. She asks if she is going somewhere. Rano says that she is going to her son-in-law's engagement. She says that she has taken so much time to get ready and says they have to go in an auto. She asks Lakshmi to come. Lakshmi says she cannot come. Rano says to Lakshmi that Rishi is getting engaged to Malishka. We can curse Malishka all life. She says it is finalized that Rishi is the wrong guy from before. Lakshmi asks Rano not to tell her this. Rano says I am saying the truth and nothing will be right because Rishi is your husband, and says it might not be your husband tomorrow. Lakshmi says I know how Rishi is because I stay with him. She says sometimes Rishi becomes strange, but whenever I need him, he always supports me. Rano asks Lakshmi if she is praising Rishi like this because she is burdened by his favors or due to the pain in her heart. She says you came here running because you couldn't see Rishi's engagement. Bani asks that how can you hurt Lakshmi? Shalu asks Rano to go alone and says they will not come. Rishi calls Lakshmi. Lakshmi tells Shalu and she goes to attend to the call. Rano is about to go behind her, but Shalu stops her and says let husband and wife talk. Rano says she is going to her room and she asks Shalu to leave her hand. Rishi calls Lakshmi again. Lakshmi picks the call and says hello. Rishi thanks Lakshmi for picking the call and says I will not forget your favors. He asks that what is her planning. Lakshmi says nothing. Rishi says your aim is to torture Rishi Oberoi. Lakshmi asks why are you saying this? Rishi says Malishka asked you to go home but you did not go then. He says now you have gone, thinking that Rishi will search for you, being worried, but no way. Rishi says to Lakshmi that today is my life's biggest and happiest day, and he asks her not to trouble him today. He asks that why are you getting affected? Lakshmi Bajwa. Lakshmi says she is Lakshmi Rishi Oberoi. Rishi says I think you will throw divorce papers at my face before 3 months. Lakshmi asks that what is Rishi's problem? Rishi says I don't think about you and I don't get affected by you. Lakshmi asks Rishi that why did you call me since you are not affected by me? Rishi says I want you to attend my engagement and I want you to see me getting engaged. Lakshmi asks why. Rishi says I want you to see that I don't think about you and I don't get affected by you. He says after 3 months, he will move on with Malishka. He says I was concerned for you in court. It was fake. He asks her not to think that he had any feelings for her. Lakshmi asks, did you have feelings for me before? Rishi asks Lakshmi not to think about that. Lakshmi says you don't have a heart. Rishi says you are talking about heart, but Lakshmi ends the call before he finished talking. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi will see his engagement live and she will think that whatever he said was true. Lakshmi turns and sees Shalu and Bani standing. Bani says we did not hear anything. Shalu asks Lakshmi to ask Rishi not to do the engagement. Lakshmi says no. She says if you haven't told the media, then this engagement wouldn't have happened. She says I had returned there for Rishi's life. If I want to stay there, then I should let this engagement happen. She says you both says that he loves me, but he hates me. Shalu says no, Rishi loves you. Lakshmi asks Shalu to let her talk. She says that she had returned for Rishi's life. She says they were married due to the bad luck, which is for a year. She says now the court has given her 3-month time and she has to be with Rishi for his life. Lakshmi calls Ranu and asks her to wear her jewelry and her bangles and says we are going for Rishi's engagement. Ranu gets excited and she goes to get ready. Lakshmi leaves with Shalu and Bani. Ranu comes behind them. Malishka comes to the Oberoi's house. Neelam says she is looking pretty as the Oberoi's daughter-in-law. Abe asks about Rishi. Neelam says Rishi is busy with the guest. Abe greet Virendra and Grandma. Grandma says Malishka should be like you. Abe says Malishka is somewhat like me. Neelam calls Grandma and she goes. Abe asks Virendra that I hope you are not upset with me. He says Rishi has promised Malishka and I was seeing from the society's perspective. Virendra says we should agree to the children's sayings. Abe asks if Virendra is happy with the engagement. Virendra says my happiness is secondary and says Rishi's happiness matters. He says Rishi is married to Lakshmi now and I wanted this engagement to happen later. Abe says even he has old thought, but then he thought that Malishka should get her love. Malishka hugs Sonia. Sonia says you are looking pretty. Neelam asks that where is Rishi? Rishi comes there. Neelam asks are you happy? Rishi says I am very happy. Malishka asks due to me, right? Rishi says no, due to mom. Malishka says I am happy due to mom too. Neelam asks Malishka to meet the guest. Virendra and Abe have a drink. Abe says you think that I am better than Kiran and says even I feel that you are better than Neelam. Virendra says to Abe that Neelam is better than me. She is a good daughter-in-law and a good mother. Maybe I couldn't become a good husband. She is a bit possessive about the children and she is aggressive about the family. And this is a perfect woman and a wife. Abe asks, should I ask something? And says, I heard something about Neelam and you in the newspaper. He asks, should I ask? Virendra says, not today. I don't have that much courage. I will tell you later. Abe says, this is life. I am saying that I will do anything to get Malishka her love. But during Viraj's time, I asked her to choose Viraj. She says, now Rishi is divorcing Lakshmi. I want Malishka to get her love. Virendra get thinking while Rishi wait for Lakshmi to come. Lakshmi makes a stunning entry into the Oberoi house dressed in a beautiful attire and looking different, and this relieves Rishi's restlessness. Rishi looks at Lakshmi. A song plays in the background. Their moment is shown. Lakshmi forwarded her hand towards Rishi for a handshake. Rishi shakes Lakshmi's hand. She says congratulations and she asks if he got engaged. Rishi asks if Lakshmi came to break his engagement. Lakshmi says no, I came to get the engagement done and says it cannot happen without me. Rishi says perfect and he continues to hold Lakshmi's hand. Everyone looks on. Lakshmi says leave my hand. Rishi says I had told you that if anyone walks out without ending the talk, then I don't like it, and he asks Lakshmi to wait for his talk to finish. Lakshmi says I understand. Rishi says good for us. The talk is over and he goes. Ranu says that Rishi has insulted Lakshmi. Bani says we should be in the room upstairs until the engagement is over. Lakshmi says if I had come here to stay in the room, then why would I have come? She says that she wants to stay here because someone said that I should be here and see Malishka and his engagement. Someone said that I should see the reality and because he will like it. Ranu asks who is the person. Lakshmi says Rishi. She says Rishi said the right thing, that I will see the reality. Kiran tells Rishi and Malishka that Lakshmi is staring at them. Rishi says let Lakshmi stare. She cannot do anything now. Nobody can stop our engagement today. Malishka says I don't know where this Rishi was lost and she asks that where was his attitude before. She says now she is very happy that Rishi is with her and he is supporting her. Rishi says we have bear so much but not anymore. I will make everything fine. The servant tells Rishi that Lakshmi has gone back and she went out of the house. Neelam says maybe she had gone to bring her uncle. Karishma says maybe to give the money to the cab. Sonia says of course. Rishi says no. Lakshmi had gone to her house. I called her and asked her to come back so that there is no scope. Malishka asks that why did Rishi call Lakshmi? Rishi says he wanted Lakshmi to see the engagement. He says he is doing the engagement as only Malishka is in his life. He says he really wanted Lakshmi to see his engagement and says he helped Lakshmi in court, but she did not matter to him and he has no connection with her. He says he is doing this engagement so that he can unite with Malishka, and he will not bear it if anyone says anything wrong to Malishka. Rishi says that what if Lakshmi says that she was unaware of the engagement or that we did not tell her, and then she will create problems for them in court. So that is why I called her here. Ahana goes from there. Grandma goes behind her and asks that what happened. Ahana says nothing. Grandma asks her to talk. Ahana asks Grandma not to talk and says she is feeling bad for Lakshmi. Grandma says to Ahana that we cannot do anything and says this engagement should happen. She says until you lose something, you cannot value the thing you lose. She says the truth can come out or not, but everything will be clear. She says we are always with Rishi and Lakshmi, but we never thought of what Lakshmi wants. Ahana says divorce and money. Grandma says that is why our relationship got bitter. Ahana says I got sad, but this Lakshmi is not as before, but I still feel sad. Lakshmi looks at Rishi and thinks that I want to stop you from getting engaged to Malishka, but then I will be wrong, as I will get it forcefully. Malishka comes there and takes Rishi away from there. Ranu asks the servant to give the tray to her and says she is on diet and she will eat this much. Neelam is going from there. Ranu congratulates Neelam and asks, did you forget me? And she reminds her that she did not agree for Rishi and Lakshmi's marriage first. Then she later agreed. Neelam says, I wish you wouldn't have agreed, and says so much happened due to you. Ranu thinks that if Neha had married Rishi, then she would have made them dance on her fingers. She calls the waiters for the food. Malishka says Shalu and she comes to her. She says it is good that you came here and you accepted my invitation. She says I did not think that you will come here and see our engagement and see your sister becoming a servant. She says you have much courage to come here. Shalu says you are calling my sister as a servant, and she reminds her that her face was blackened and she ran away because of shame. Shalu says to Malishka that you are here due to my brother-in-law's favor, else you would have been in court and you must be questioned and you will get several names like the second woman and homebreaker. Malishka says it will be Lakshmi that will be insulted and not me. She says Lakshmi doesn't deserve to be a woman or even a married woman. Shalu says your destiny is good, that brother-in-law is still bearing you. Malishka says he is not your brother-in-law. Shalu says he is my brother-in-law as far as he is Lakshmi's husband. Malishka says after 3 months, then you would have to take appointment. Malishka thanks and asks Shalu. She gives credit to her for telling the reporters about her and says your sister's house broke due to you. She asks her to look at herself in the mirror and calls herself. She goes from there. Bani hears that and asks Shalu that what did she do? Shalu says Malishka had given wrong information to the reporters, so I told them the truth. She says sorry. Bani asks that what is the way to stop the engagement. Shalu says if Ayush goes and make brother-in-law understand that he can break the engagement. She says she would go and talk to Ayush. Bani says everything is in Ayush's hands. Abe comes to Lakshmi. Lakshmi greets him and asks, should I get something for you? Abe asks her not to behave as if nothing changed between them. Lakshmi says you are my elder. Abe says I had asked you to convince Malishka to marry Viraj, but now she is getting engaged to Rishi. Lakshmi says engagement and the marriage cannot happen until I am here. Abe asks, do you miss your dad? As if he would have been alive, then he would have asked you to leave Rishi. Lakshmi says she had a wonderful father, but God had called him. Later, God gave me another father, Rishi's dad. He is enough for me. Virendra hears that and gets emotional. Shalu owed Ayush's hand to stop him. Ayush asks, why did you stop me? Shalu says you are not stopping the engagement. Ayush says he is doing the right thing. Shalu says brother-in-law and my sister love each other a lot. Ayush says it was our misunderstanding and says if they have loved each other at the time, then she wouldn't have asked for divorce and he wouldn't have called in for this engagement. Virendra asks Lakshmi if she knows that he was hearing her and that is why she is saying all this, and he asks her not to say this because they get betrayed because of her. Abe asks if Lakshmi was talking about this father Virendra, who doesn't even consider her as his daughter, and he suggested to Lakshmi to go away from the house because Rishi is of Malishka, so there is no point to stay in the house for 3 months. Lakshmi feels bad and she looks on. Alright guys, I know they've already shown this on TV, but it was because I've already edited all these parts before my exam. So I just finished my exam and I was not able to do voiceover during the exam period. But now I have finished my exam and I don't want my editing time and effort to go to waste. So I'll be uploading all these ones that I've already done the editing before. So I'll soon catch up with Z-Word. You guys should please stay tuned as I'll be dropping a lot of updates today. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.